a must-win game really for a Roscommon team that is captained by full forward Kieran Murtagh. Sean Maloney from Strokestown stands in front of goalkeeper Darren O'Malley in a defensive setup that could be tested today. Enda Smith and Tadhg O'Rourke will have to gain some control of midfield, so Fintan Craig, Donny Smith and co get a good supply of quality ball. There are two changes to the Kerry team that lost to Monaghan last weekend. Killian Young is given the fullback jersey instead of Mark Griffin, while Paul Murphy returns to the Kingdom defence after some time spent in the attack. Jack Barry and Jack Savage are stars for the future and start at centre field and centre forward respectively. The Kerry captain is Peter Crowley. Conor Devaney did well despite the pressure. Nice dispossession. Still Roscommon. Oh, Keeley saved well. Ball comes back outside. There's a chance here of a point, and it's over the bar. This was the goal opportunity as Roscommon were confident in the build-up. It came to Enda Smith. Point-blank save. Good play, Cian Connolly. Breaking ball comes for us Peter Crowley, the Kerry captain this afternoon, giving it in to the centre. And again, Kerry will shoot from way out the fields. The umpires have a look, and the umpires go for the white flag. And once again, it's Paul Gainey. 3 points for Gainey. Coming all the way from Dingle, almost from the exact same position as his very first point of the game. Good score. Both managers, Eamon Fitzmaurice here from Kerry and Kevin McStay, under a little bit of pressure now with the results in recent weeks. Kieran Murtagh on the Kerry 45, looping one in for as Cian Connolly. This is really good play, Roscommon. Love it. It's a quality point in Dr. Hyde Park. Murtagh to Connolly, straight between the posts. Over first, James O'Donoghue. Willing to take on his opponent. Jack Savage. He's up properly and quickly. David Moran. Lovely skill by the big man from Tralee. And the finish isn't bad either. Brilliant point, David Moran. Good finish. Shane Enright as Kerry go into Roscommon half of the field, and here comes Jack Barry again. Great Kerry movement, good score. Shane Enright at the end of it all. He started it inside his own half of the field, but Jack Barry, look at the momentum, the changing of gears, the ball control. Enright called, Enright delivered. Tadhg O'Rourke. That's a good ball. Up far is David Murray. Past the 20, 13. Right man, right place. Here comes the full forward and captain Kieran Murtagh, and that's over the bar. This was a splendid move. David Murray from Tadhg O'Rourke spotting Donny Smith. Donny Smith gives it to Kieran Murtagh, over the bar. Ball into the space. Gathered a second attempt by Dermot Murtagh. Nice skill. Now how about the finish? Brilliant play by the substitute brought in at halftime. The name is Dermot Murtagh. Beautiful ball control. Got inside the cover. Referee allowed advantage. Good score.
Hold David.
Stephen O'Brien, Ian Chick, left and right. Good footballer. Pass inside. Can still work out. Paul Gainey did well to gather it. Despite the best Roscommon efforts, that is going to register as one of the finest. James O'Donoghue with his first point in downtown Roscommon. Paul Gainey did all the hard work here. Out for his James, and he did the rest. Good score. Roscommon slow and getting out of trouble. Tiger O'Rourke is back there, so too is John McManus. There's some dissent. There's a bit of afters going on, and the referee surely saw what was going on. This is what happened. There you go. And there is no doubt about the colour. John McManus gets a straight red. Roscommon showed a lot of purpose in the first half. Tactically, we seemed to get it right, but in the second half, considering the strength of the breeze, really surprised they didn't go for the long ball. They're working it all the way up again. And by the time they reach here, Kerry are back normally, as that ball is sent splendidly between the posts. And once more, it's Kieran Murtagh. And when you have a player of that quality in the full forward line, I certainly would be using the long ball up to him quicker and more effectively. Ball inside from Kieran Murtagh. Referee blows the whistle. And the referee, what's he going to do? Is he going to give a penalty? Is it inside the large rectangle? He is consulting with his umpires. Looks like it's going to be a penalty. I feel it is. This was the ball inside for Enda Smith. Fouled by Tyke Morley in the eyes of the referee. Kieran Murtagh, I've seen him take penalties before and he's pretty good. Let's see what happens here. It's crucial. Tucked away beautifully. Roscommon are back in the game. Brendan Keeley had no chance. This is how a penalty should be taken in Gaelic football. Deep into injury time. Here come Kerry again. Good work along the end line, cutting it across, shot, goal! Kerry responds with a cracker from Paul Gainey. Created by the incisive running of Stephen O'Brien, Kevin McCarthy was involved and Gainey finished. And the referee blows the full-time whistle. Kerry overall the better team. Eamon Fitzmaurice will be glad to travel back to the kingdom with the 2 league points. For Kevin McStay, it's heartbreak and disappointment and a lot of frustration. Full-time score in Dr. Hyde Park, Roscommon. It is Kerry 119, Roscommon 113.
Our attitude was excellent all week. We reacted well to the Monaghan performance, and while we're still a bit off football-wise, definitely the attitude and spirit was excellent today.
I saw you quite animated, angry today about the refereeing decisions. Can you put into words on why you were so angry?
Well, you see, if I put it into words, I don't know, I can't do the sideline the next day then. That's the issue here. But I put it this way, we were very disappointed with the refereeing performance. But I've never wanted the team to have that as a crutch, and I've said that just them in there. We made plenty of our own mistakes, but there was basic, simple rules of the game that were ignored here. Black cards that were just walked away from and funked and gave yellows. Up the other end, goalkeepers taking kickouts with Kerry men inside the line, and he gives the retake when it's a hop, when it's a throw-in ball. Simple rules of the game that I'd expect a bit more of, and his general interpretation of when we were tackled compared to when Kerry were tackled disappointed me.
So Kerry back on track, but no light on the horizon for Roscommon. Desi, fair play to Kerry. Look, they went up to Roscommon. They haven't had... they don't play well at home, but it seems they're fine when they get away from home. But we heard Kevin there as well. Frustrated, obviously, with that defeat. They're 4th for Roscommon. He made a few points about the referee. Was he right? Had he a point?
I think he had a point, to be honest. Barry Cassidy is a referee from Derry, and he was a bit fussy today, and that was Kevin at half-time. And the team continued throughout the second half, where there was a lot of decisions that you would say could go Roscommon's way, but didn't go Roscommon's way. And that was the problem. I see everything seems to be going Kerry, and it's very unusual for Kevin to be getting animated. You see, this is Ronan Stack here, clear a hand on the back, falls over. Now, some people might say not a free, but at the same time, the problem is, in a similar situation, Mark Griffin goes down, 2 lads have him surrounded in a vital position, but a very soft free, and the players are getting animated there. Here's Killian O'Connor, there's your wraparound, now the thing, Killian gets a yellow card for this, and Kevin is very strong on rules. He'd know that that's a deliberate pull down, you'd say a black card. And now this will drive him crazy, because this is nothing to do with the referee, but John McManus swings at James O'Donoghue there. Now that will frustrate the life out of Kevin McStay. A Division 1 team at that level, you can't get away with it. We talk about a black card being brought in for cynical tackles. Surprisingly, this tackle actually is a yellow card, because it's a jersey pull, but you would say it's the ultimate in cynical play. And this is Kevin McStay at the end of the game. He's very animated, and it's very unusual to see Kevin in this environment. But he was extremely proud. The players played extremely well. Coming into injury time was a point in it, and early in the game they missed a lot of opportunities that if they took one or two of them, it could have changed the game.
We were saying, I think last week, Paddy, on the programme, that I'm sure Kerry would be hoping to play all their games out of Kerry this particular campaign because of what has happened so far.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, they were under pressure coming up to Roscommon today, because after 2 home defeats, if they'd lost today, they're facing a relegation battle.
Exactly.
A win today, they're probably safe now. The bottom 2 are on 0 points, so they can look ahead. They have the Dubs 2 weeks' time in Tralee, and I think you'll see Kerry ratcheting up a bit now in training for the next couple of weeks.
Oh, no doubt that they will. Lads, let's go back again to the Kevin McStay interview and a couple of other issues about that, because after today's game, Kevin also spoke to Marty about criticism levelled during the week about Mayo men managing Roscommon, and that a lot of the players didn't want to play for them. Well, here's what he had to say about that.
This week has been a rough week for you, Kevin, because I've read some of the criticism locally. Can you react to that criticism this evening?
Well, can I react to it? I mean, it was a great load of nonsense. I've heard most of it was factually incorrect, and I'm expecting that to be corrected fairly soon by the station involved. It's a local radio station here. But that he was given that platform is very, very disappointing. But you have to listen to noise. And did it affect us? Absolutely did not affect us one bit. But I hope he's had his day in the sunshine, and that when he gets time and reflects on it as a former player and manager, he might just cop on to himself a small bit.
This is referring to Gay Sheeran, former Roscommon player and manager. Were you hurt by the comments?
No, not hurt. Hugely disappointed, because it reflects badly on the group of players that I have, like they're not trying, or there's a dissent in the camp or whatever, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, do you think, Marty, a team could go out there and play like we did today if we're not showing a unity and togetherness about what we're trying to achieve for the summer? It couldn't happen.
And I know, Kevin, you're a Mayo man by birth and by your playing career, but you've been living in Roscommon and you've managed St. Bridget's to an All-Ireland club title. So seeing Mayo people along the sideline in charge of Roscommon shouldn't be a surprise, should it?
Sure, you know, we had John Evans from Kerry previously, with Liam Kearns, who's from Kerry. I mean, these are not issues. I mean, I trained Roscommon minors 20 years ago. You know, I'm almost out of Roscommon at this stage. My 3 children are from Roscommon. I mean, what do you want me to do? I can't, you know, rebirth myself, if that's the word. But it's just very disappointing that people would take that angle.
Yeah, Desi, harsh words and hailstones coming down on top of Kevin this particular week.
Not easy for Kevin at the minute.
You live, of course, very close to the situation down there. What do you make of all of this?
It's not great now at the minute. I suppose, look, Kevin lives a kick of ball away from the Hyde Park for most of his working life. He has 3 daughters from Roscommon. He trained Roscommon Gaels. He trained St. Bridget's, the club team. So he's very familiar with Roscommon football and knows it inside out. He inherited a situation, like Johnny Evans left the job. He said there was dark forces at play.
Yes.
No one really knew what he was on about.
Yes.
Fergal O'Donnell and Kevin went in as I suppose the dream team. We were thinking Fergal left. He didn't want to go for reappointment because of, you know, like, I suppose interference, or again, no one really knows exactly what's going on in Roscommon, but there is an issue, and Kevin has to address this issue. The reality is, Cathal Craig isn't playing a great footballer. Donny Shine, people would know is a good footballer. Niall Daly, another excellent footballer, and his 2 brothers. Neil Collins. These are players, now, for whatever reason they're not playing. I suppose people and past players are commenting that what's going on with Roscommon. It's a difficult division. Everything is magnified when you're playing Division 1. It's tough at Roscommon at the minute, but you would have to say that Kevin is trying his best, and I think the criticism was a bit harsh during the week.
All right, lads, thanks for that. Now, next here on the programme, we are going to take you back to last night's games.